Hello, I'm Kate Conway and I'm a cellist playing with the Old Street Band, English Touring Opera's Baroque Orchestra. I thought I'd talk briefly today about this slightly odd-looking instrument, the Viola Da Gamba, which made a couple of appearances in this season's music, both in Giulio Cesare and in the St. John Passion. Although it looks like a slightly souped-up version of a cello, it's actually part of a completely different family of instruments, the viol family, which has more in common with guitars and lutes, hence the frets, than with violins or cellos. Viols come in a variety of sizes, but the most common are the treble, the smallest, tenor, which is medium-sized, and basses, like this one. They usually have 6 strings, but Baroque basses, like mine, can have 7, which gives access to some great lower notes. The name Viola Da Gamba literally means viol for the leg, and as there's no spike, the viol just rests between your knees. I'm often asked whether it's tiring to hold, but it's actually really light, so you barely notice the weight once it's sitting there. The strings are made of animal gut, and the frets are too, and every so often the frets wear out and need replacing, which is quite a laborious process. The frets have to be tied very tightly so that they don't move around too much. And once the ends of the gut have been trimmed, they need to be burnt to make a mushroom shape so that they don't come undone. I used to use a cigarette lighter for this, and some people also use candles, but both of them are pretty dangerous for the poor gamba, particularly if your hand isn't feeling too steady. So I've now bought a mini soldering iron, which fortunately has made the whole process slightly less risky. The bow is held underhand rather than overhand, as with a violin or a cello, and the instrument is tuned in fourths for the most part, with a third in the middle. Again, quite similarly to a guitar. This means that there's loads of possibilities for playing chords. One of the things I love most about this instrument is that it can wear so many hats due to its range and its setup. As a gamba player, you can of course play bass lines, but you can also fill in chords and harmonies and play inner parts, as happens in Act 2 of Giulio Cesare, or you can play solo melodies such as the haunting aria Es ist vollbracht from the St. John Passion. I'd say that the only downside is having to carry both cases when you're doubling both cello and gamba, as it's a bit of a logistical nightmare, and particularly getting through doorways. If you'd like to hear more from the Viola Da Gamba on ETO's YouTube channel, you can listen to the St. John Passion live performance recorded prior to the lockdown in March, where Gavin Kibble on the gamba, the countertenor Tim Morgan and the Old Street Band, directed by Jonathan Peter Kenny, give a beautiful rendition of Es ist vollbracht. And to find out more about how ETO are supporting artists and continuing to make music during the COVID-19 pandemic, and how you can support these commitments, please visit englishtouringopera.org.uk. Thanks so much for watching.